In this lecture series, I am going to discuss some of the exception handling examples in Java. Exception is an event that disrupts a normal flow of execution of a program. In Java, there are keywords that are used to handle these exceptions. Exception handling is a mechanism that is used to handle runtime errors in Java. So, the code that raises logical errors. So, in Java, the keywords that are used for exception handling are try, catch, and finally end throws. Try is used to have the code that raises the exception, and catch is used to handle the exception, and throw is used to throw the exception. So, let us see some of the examples in exception handling. So, in this example, the exception that is handled is divide by 0 exception. So, you can see that the statement that raises the exception in data is equal to 100 by 0 is placed inside the try block. So, there is no possible solution for dividing a value by 0, it generates a runtime error. The statement is placed inside the try block and the exception is handled in the catch block. So, you can see the output of the code, that is java.lang.arithmetic exception, it is divide by 0, and you get the statement output rest of code, that is after the catch block as output. In this example, you can see that there is no possible code that generates a runtime exception or a logical error. It is just an initialization statement int a is equal to 10, which is placed inside the try block. So, there is no exception or no error. So, in this example, you can see that a new arithmetic exception is handled. So, you have a validate method which takes age as input, and you can see that it validates if the age is less than 18, then it throws the output as person is not eligible to vote as a class of arithmetic exception. So, let us see the output of your execution of this program. So, you can see the output, you get it as java.lang.arithmetic exception, person is not eligible to vote. Since if age is less than 18, you are handling the exception as person is not eligible to vote. In this example, you can see the usage of throws keywords. So, which is used along that is normally function. So, the main method here throws an exception. Throws keyword is used in the throws keyword. So, throws is a keyword that is used normally along with the method signatures. So, void main is a method signature here, and you throw an exception in the method signature. In this example, throws is used along with IO exceptions. You can see that since there is no any IO exceptions, you get the output value as 8, 10 and B as 20, the added value of A plus 10. In this example, you can see that throws an runtime exception. So, and it is used along with your display method signature. The first display in class A throws normal exception, and in case of the next display method, it throws runtime exception. Since there is no error in the code, it compiled successfully. So, in this example, you can see that there are multiple catch blocks for a single try block. So, there are three kinds of exceptions that is handled in your catch block. One is arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, and normal exception. So, here the statement that possibly rise the exception, the first statement is int array. So, you can see that you are initializing an array with a maximum of 10 elements, and you are trying to insert a 11th element as 300 by 0, which might possibly rise an array index out of bounds exception. So, you can see that you can have multiple catch blocks also for a single try block in exception handling.